how do you provide for your family as a pre-med? That's what we're going to be talking about today. This is the OldPreMeds podcast, session number 164. You're a non-traditional student entering the medical field on your terms. You may have had some hiccups along the way, but now you're ready to change course and go back and serve others as a physician. This podcast is here to help answer your questions and help educate you on your non-traditional journey to becoming a physician. Welcome to the OldPreMeds podcast. My name is Dr. Ryan Gray, your host here every week, where I take questions from you at the non-traditional pre-med forums over at premedforums.com and answer them here on the podcast. Now, the podcast is focused on non-traditional pre-med students, but really the questions can work for any student who is a pre-med. So hopefully our answers will help you on your journey to medical school, no matter where you are in your journey. Today we have an interesting question from a student who is about to have their first kid. They say, "Hi everyone, I am 23 years old, married, and about to have my first child in February. I'm about to finish my first year of undergraduate education on this journey to becoming a physician. I'm trying to plan ahead for my future in medical school and trying to analyze what my life will be like. I'm concerned about being able to provide for my family once in medical school and was wondering if anyone had any ideas or strategies they use to enjoy medical school and still be a financial benefit to their families. Any guidance would be appreciated. Thanks, Colin." So, interesting question. How do you have a family and provide for them? Now, it sounds like Colin, I'm going to assume some genders here. It sounds like Colin is a male, is the husband, and it sounds like his wife or spouse or whoever it is going to have this child, and from the sounds of it, doesn't plan on working because Colin is more concerned about providing for the family and being in medical school and still, quote unquote, being a financial benefit to the family. And I would say that as you go through this process, you need to understand that when you are in medical school, you are not going to be a financial benefit to anybody. As you go through medical school, unless you're getting full, no, I would even say not even unless, I was going to say unless you have full scholarship, a full ride, you're still not a financial benefit to the family. Because when you are in medical school, you have no time to work. Now, I always giggle when I see med students out there starting consulting companies and other stuff, and I think they're crazy because you need to focus in medical school to be a good physician. You need that base of knowledge, and that's what your job is in medical school. Now, I worked in medical school, and I regret it every day. I blame my work on my not being able to do as well as I could have on step one of my exam, step one of the boards. And step one is really what determines where you're going to match for residency. If you are very interested in a competitive residency spot, a competitive program, you need to crush step one. And because I was busy working as a personal trainer, I didn't focus as much as I should have and didn't do as well on step one. And I regret that. Obviously, I've ended up in a position where I get to help as many pre-meds as possible, and so I'm helping you right now. Do not plan on working while you were in med school. So you will not be a financial benefit to your family. So there are a couple options. You work as much as you can now, maintaining your grades as best you can, because obviously you need to get to medical school first, and so you need good grades to do that, and a good MCAT score, and so you need to focus as much as possible on your education now. And if you can work, great. If you can't while you're at this point, then you're still not a financial benefit to your family. And so trying to work as much as you can now, save as much money as possible so that when you do get to medical school, your family can live off of savings. You have to remember that when you're in medical school, the majority of students out there are going to live off of student loans. And those student loans don't necessarily care if you have a family that you have to support. They're going to provide you with enough money to pay for housing and transportation, and all of that is built into the budget that the school sets of what the costs are for that area, not assuming that you have a family and more mouths to feed. And so you really have to focus on making sure that you have enough money in the bank, making sure that you have some maybe loans from family members, or have your spouse work and kids are in daycare. And that's just what you'll have to do. So I know it's probably not the answer you wanted to hear, but when you're in medical school, you don't have time to work. You will not be a financial benefit to your family. All right. I hope that was helpful. Not very motivating, but it's the truth, right? You can't work and the money is going the wrong way, the wrong direction when you are in medical school. So hopefully that was helpful. If you have a question you want answered here on the podcast, go to premedforums.com, click on the non-traditional Premed forum, ask your question. Hopefully it'll be answered here on the podcast. I hope you have a great week. We'll see you next time.